So, hello and welcome. Today, we are going to continue with our series of principles of inheritance and variation, and today's topic will be codominance. Today's topic will be codominance. So, as the name suggests, I think you must have got a little bit of idea what this means. So, codominance is like there are two things which are dominating, and they're dominating in a cooperation. Like दो चीज़ dominate कर रहा है, ठीक है, दो चीज़ dominate कर रहे हैं, but they are cooperating with each other so that both of them can dominate, right? So it is a codominance is a special phenomenon where two dominant alleles are coming together and both are exerting their dominance and making their presence felt. Well, recessive को लेके यहाँ पे nothing happens. Incomplete dominance, I hope you remember, is where the dominant part was not fully dominant. So that is why it was called incomplete dominance. But codominance is a totally different phenomenon from incomplete dominance. So codominance is a phenomenon where both the dominant alleles are being represented and the certain phenotype will be visible. तो यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? Both the dominant alleles represent themselves. Both the different alleles, if both the dominant alleles represent themselves. The best example you can give over here is the example of human blood groups. If you know, I'll let you know how many blood groups are there. If you know how many blood groups are there in a normal human, like in normal human beings, you must be knowing there are certain types which are like A, B, AB and O. So there are 4 different blood group types. So how do we get that and where did that come from? I'll let you know. Okay, I'll let you know all about that. So first, before getting into that, we must understand what this is and where this comes from. So see, we have hemoglobin and plasma, like there is red blood cells and there is plasma in the blood, right? And as well as WBCs, lymphocytes, platelets and whatnot. So I'm not getting into that detail, but what I am trying to discuss over here is that how do we get the blood types. So there are certain types of sugar polymers. There are certain types of sugar polymers present on the plasma membrane of RBCs. ठीक है, these are the sugar polymers that are present on the surfaces of RBCs and that are protruding out. There are different kinds of sugar which we will discuss. These sugars or genes, these sugars have these genes which are known as I. These are called I gene. These are called gene I. Now this gene I has 3 different alleles. This has 3 different alleles. This is IA, this is IB and this is IO. You will find people writing it like this as well. I have no problem with that. Even you should have no problem with that. In fact, in books you will find this method, but that hardly matters for me, right? But this, if you ask me, this is the proper procedure, but it's okay. I hope it's okay for you guys. So see, this I naught or IO is also written as small I. So see, I'll tell you about this. Now this I has 3 types as I have discussed. So obviously there is a dominant type and there is a recessive type. So the dominant over here, the dominant and recessive. So there is dominant and there is recessive as always. So the dominant are IA and IB. These 2 types are the dominant ones and the recessive one is I naught or small I. Okay? So you must be knowing that for any dominant, even if one is present, that will represent itself, while for a recessive one it should be both the recessive must be present in general. So let me talk about the different kinds of blood groups that are present, and from there we will discuss what the different types are. See, let me talk about blood groups. Let me keep it this like this: blood group. Let me keep it like this: blood group. Let it be on one side. So we have different kinds of blood groups. This is A. It has again, there may be two possibilities. I'll talk about it later. There is B. There is your AB, and this is your O. So tell me about this. See, this is A, which means it can be represented by IA. If both the dominant IA and IA come from both the parents. See, there are two parents, obviously both the parent will contribute one like a single IA. See, from their zygote, like from their like egg cells or sperm cells, whatever that is. I don't want to get into that for now, right now. So you can get an IA and IA from the parent, or you can get an IA or small I. As it is, as this one is a recessive gene, it will not represent itself, and thus we will get a blood group which is I. So I hope you understand this. For B, the same will be happening over here. I guess you can understand now that IB will again represent a B blood group type, and then IB paired up with I naught, or it may be written as IB and I naught I. So this will also represent your blood group B. When it comes to AB, now comes the major factor where you get codominance. See, there must be IA and IB. I hope this is pretty much evident. I don't need to discuss much on that. I don't need to place more emphasis on that, I guess. I hope you understand this, that because both of them are dominant and both will at the end of the day represent themselves, you will get codominance over here. Codominance means, again I'm explaining this again, both the dominant alleles will represent itself and show their phenotypes. Okay, now for O, that is a common sense that we have to have both the recessive ones. That is pretty much evident. I hope you understand this much. So we have got the whole thing cleared up over here. So let me summarize this. Let me summarize this again, and let me tell you. If you tell me about the genotypes, there are different types of genotypes and phenotypes over here. Let me talk about them one by one. First, let's talk about phenotypes. How many phenotypes are there? As you can see, the overall appearance will be A, B, AB, and O. So there are a total of 4 phenotypes. Phenotypes is what? That is the gross thing that you can see from the outside. Gross does not mean that the ugly thing, but it is a overall thing that you can manage and see from the physical appearance, kind of. And the genotypes are specific genetic sequences which we are concerned about. So counting it over here, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have got 6 genotypes. So we have got 6 genotypes, whereas we have got 4 phenotypes. So I hope this much was clear. So I guess you can understand the codominance was seen over here, where both the dominant alleles represented itself, giving a specific kind of a phenotype which was present in the AB blood type. I hope this much was clear, and I guess you understood that. So moving on with the next topic, we have a dihybrid cross, which I will discuss in the later video. So please wait for that video. It will be coming shortly.